Yo guys, it's your boy Legend, and today I've got a different type of video for you guys. So usually I post AMVs or gaming videos, but today it's something different. So you guys might not know this, but I watch a lot of anime.
おや、気づきましたか。陸殿も好き者にござるな。
So the other day I was sitting in my room, in my comfy little bed, drinking hot cocoa and watching YouTube. And then it hit me. Was it a bird? Was it a plane? No, it was Invincible. Yes, Invincible. The cartoon that is currently very popular and pretty good. And yes, I know I said I would talk about anime, but in my opinion, Invincible is nothing less than an anime. So by definition, anime is a style of Japanese film and television animation typically aimed at adults as well as children. Well, that is true that anime by definition is typically Japanese animation, but over the past years, anime has developed into a general animation type category where any animated story with decent plot, decent characters, and good character development can be referred to as anime. For example, God of High School or Tower of God, which were based on Korean manhwa. Also, Avatar The Last Airbender, which was created at the Nickelodeon Animation Studios in Burbank, California. And if you watched Avatar, you know it was amazing. The animation, the plot, characters, character development, it had everything. And so calling that a cartoon and comparing it with something like Courage the Cowardly Dog or Jimmy Neutron or even something like the Justice League, in my opinion, would be disrespectful to Avatar. And no, I'm not saying that Justice League movies or cartoons are bad. I'm just saying they're not really anime material. And same thing goes for Invincible, calling it a cartoon would be disrespecting it. Now, the animation of Invincible is slightly on the cartoony side, but the story in general is far from a cartoon. Now again, there are good characters, good character development, good plot, but most importantly, the story of Omni-Man is somewhat similar to the story of Miriam from Hunter x Hunter. While the sequence of events that happen in Miriam and Omni-Man's story are not in the same order, the story is pretty similar, I would say. For example, when Miriam is born, he doesn't know anything about the world. He is just born a bad guy, just bad in general. And he has these three stooges that take care of him, that show him how to be and how to act. And he doesn't know what it means to live or what life means or what losing means until he meets Komugi, the girl that changes him. And that's similar to what happened to Omni-Man. When Omni-Man came to Earth, he didn't know how to be, how to act amongst the people, or how to live amongst them. Until he met Debbie, his future wife, and she taught him, just like Miriam's the royal guards, how to live amongst the people, what it means to live, as Omni-Man didn't know that because his life was so much longer than a normal human's life. And then when he had Mark, he found that love. At the start, he didn't really love him. He was just there, but he didn't actually love him. But as Mark started growing up, he started to feel emotional about Mark. He started loving him, his son. And in the end, when Mark, Invincible, and Omni-Man fight it out, it's not just a normal cartoony fight where it's a good guy versus a bad guy. No. It's a father who learned to love versus his son who always loved him and looked up to him. And that brings emotions into play. And usually emotions are in every anime fight. And it's those emotions that make a fight much better. Like, you can just do basic action, just fighting, breaking things, all of that. But it has no value if it doesn't connect with the viewer, if it doesn't make them feel something. And that's what Invincible and a lot of other animes do. They make the viewer feel bad or feel sad for the main character or even the bad guy. Because the bad guy or the main character both didn't have any choice but to do what they did. And it makes them sympathize with them. So, in conclusion, to answer the title question, is Invincible an anime? I believe Invincible is an anime because while the animations are not quite anime like, the story, the characters, the character development are just as good as any anime. And also, mainly, most important part of it is that every fight has emotions. There are emotional connections.
Will you have after 500 years?
You, Dad. I still have you.
And it's those emotions that make the fight so much better and make Invincible more anime like than any other American cartoon. And on that note, if you're still watching the video right now, then make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below what I should do next. And see ya!